Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the CINCILINGUA membership program, and welcome to our live class this morning. It's always great to have you with me for the live classes, and yeah, it's always just great to have you as members of our CINCILINGUA membership program. And I hope all of you out there are doing great. It is Friday. You have arrived at another Friday, and I hope everybody out there is looking forward to a great weekend. So, yeah, if you haven't met me yet, my name is Todd, and I am here in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's in the Midwestern region of the United States of America. And it is the place where CINCILINGUA has been headquartered since 1972. So we've been here for a good long time now. In our class today, what we are going to do here, we are going to be looking at what we call some everyday vocabulary, some everyday English. And all I mean is this is vocabulary that we use every day. It's very common vocabulary. And today in our class, we're going to be looking at this idiom. It's a very common idiom. Would you rather, or would rather. When we put the word would with the word rather, and we put those words together, what we have is an idiom. The idiom means more than the individual words. The idiom means something that you would not really expect if you just study or if you just look at the individual words. Okay, so when I ask a question, would you rather blah, 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 I am asking you about a preference. Okay, what do you prefer? And I'm going to get, and I would give you two options, or at least two options, I should say. Okay, so you're going to see. Don't worry, we're going to move on now, and you're going to see what I mean here by example. So here we go. We're going to start right now. Okay. Yeah, so we have a question here. Would you rather drive an old car or a new car? Okay, so that's the question. Would you rather drive an old car or a new car? So we have two options. We have an old car or a new car. Those are our two options. And I'm asking you about your preference. So I could say it like this. I could say, would you prefer to drive an old car or a new car? What of those two options, what is your preference? That's the idea of this question. Would you rather drive an old car or a new car? Okay, well, me? Oh, I always give this answer. Well, I very, very frequently give this answer. It depends, right? It depends, okay? What kind of an old car are we talking about? Are we talking about, like here, in maybe an example here, this looks like a collector's item old car or a new car? Okay, what kinds of cars are we talking about? So that's my answer. It depends, but I think, yeah, I would rather drive a new car. I'll say that. I would rather drive a new car. But hey, what about you? What is your preference? What is your preference? Would you rather drive an old car or a new car. All right, now we have another question here. Would you rather eat fast food or fruit and muffins? Would you rather eat fast food or fruit and muffins? Okay, me, you guessed it. My answer, it depends, right? It depends. What kind of fast food are we talking about here? You know, but no, actually, I don't eat a lot of muffins, so I'm not a big fan of muffins, but yeah, I would rather eat fruit, I think. I of those two choices, I would go with fruit and muffins, I think. I'm not a big fan of fast food, so that's my preference. Yeah, but what about you? What about you? Now there is some kind of fast food, I guess, that I like if we consider, for example, pizza fast food. If we consider that, I would probably go for pizza. I I like pizza and I like an occasional hamburger or something, but yeah. Okay, so but what about you? Would you rather eat fast food or fruit and muffins? Moving along here, I think. I'm trying. There we go. Would you rather live in the city or in the country? And for those of you who have been here visiting us in Cincinnati, you see that this picture here is on the left is a picture of downtown Cincinnati along the Ohio River. And that big, tall building that you see there is the Great American Insurance building. It's the largest or the tallest building that we have in Cincinnati now, actually. And then there's another tall building more in the center of that picture. That's the Carew Tower. And that used to be the tallest building in the city. But yeah, so anyway, back to our question. Would you rather live in the city or in the country? Why? Me? Yeah, you know what? I like downtown Cincinnati. I do. I like that area, but I also like country areas. I think I'd rather live in the country for a while anyway. I live very close to the city and I like where I live. I live near the University of Cincinnati, which is about 5 miles from downtown. I like it here. I've lived here for a while, but a change is good, and I like country environment also. So I'm going to say I would rather live in the country, at least for a while. What about you? What about you? Do you have a preference of city over country or country over city? Would you rather live in the city or in the country, and why? Oh, and my reason I think would just be it's quiet there. Look how quiet and look how beautiful it is and green and all those trees and everything. So yeah, that's my reason. All right. Now, would you rather be able to visit the past or the future? Yeah, so there you have a superpower question. Would you rather be able to visit the past or visit the future? Why? Me, I'd rather visit the future, I think. It'd be interesting, of course, to visit the past. But yeah, I'm going with the future. I would rather visit the future. Why? Yeah, I don't know why, but I guess I just have a more of an interest in where we're going than where we've been. Why I have that particular preference? Yeah, I'm not really sure. But what about you? What about you? Would you rather go back into the past and explore the past, or would you rather look into the future and see what the future holds for you? What is your preference? Number 3, would you rather have a boring job that pays more or an interesting job that pays less? Why? Okay, I have to do it again. I have to do it, guys. I have to say it depends. It depends. Okay. Uh, how much of a difference are we talking in the pay? That's the thing. Are we talking okay, or are we talking about a job that just isn't very exciting, or are we talking about a terrible, terrible job that is just, makes your life miserable? Okay, so it depends. It depends on the pay differential, and it also depends on just how boring and tedious and monotonous and terrible the job is. So that's my answer. But in general, I guess in very general, I would rather have an interesting job that pays less. So that would be my answer in general. But it really would depend. So, but hey, what about you? What about you? What do you think about that? Would you rather be too hot or too cold? Would you rather be too hot or too cold? Now, this, for me, no, this is an easy one for me. Actually, right now, I'm cold because I was outside and the heat's not on here right now. But so, yeah, I don't like being cold. I really don't like being cold. I would much rather be too hot than too cold. Both, of course, are uncomfortable because too means two. It means excessively, right? So I don't like to be too hot or too cold. But of those two alternatives, I would choose too hot. I much prefer summer weather, tropical weather to winter weather, very cold weather. What about you? I know a lot of people who would much rather be too cold than too hot, but I'm not one of those people. But what about you? Would you rather be too hot or too cold? There you have two bad options. You have two uncomfortable options, but which one would you choose of those two uncomfortable options? Number 5. Okay, would you rather have a year off work with pay, 1 year off work with pay, or work for a year for double pay? Now there we have an interesting question. Would you rather have a year off work with pay or work for a year for double pay? Okay. Well, it depends. You guessed it, right? It depends. What kind of work do you do? That's the question. That I think is the question. What kind of work do you do and how do you feel about your work? So if somebody is really, we say burned out and really just exhausted from working too much, they don't like their job, they don't want to go to work. Well, in that situation, it's an easy choice. take a year off. On the other hand, if your job is fun, interesting, stimulating, gives you a good sense of satisfaction, work for a year for double pay. I personally would rather work for a year for double pay. That would be my choice. I would get bored. I would get bored if I didn't work for a year. So I would take the double pay. But what about you? What about you? Would you rather have a year off work with pay or work for a year for double pay? Number 6, would you rather give up electricity or running water in your home? Two more bad choices, right? Why? Would you rather give up electricity or running water in your home? Why? Well, for me, I think this is easy. I would rather give up running water in my home. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that for sure. I would not want to do that, but of those two terrible choices of giving up electricity or running water, I would choose giving up running water in my home. I think because I could go somewhere else for, to take showers and do all the things that you need running water for. But electricity, no, I would not want to be without electricity. I use electricity. I don't, occasionally, like most people, we have power outages and we have to be without electricity for a period of time until they restore the electricity. And I get a little impatient when the electricity is not on. So I don't like to be without electricity. What about you? What would your choice be of those two bad choices? And why? Why? Number 7, would you rather play the game and lose or never play? Okay, a fun question here. Would you rather play the game and lose or never play? Yeah. Again, it depends. For me, anyway, there are some games that I just do not like to lose. That game that they're playing their chess, that is a game that I used to play a lot. I don't play anymore. I haven't played for years, but I used to play that game a lot. And that was a game that I did not like to lose. I did not like to lose at a chess game. No. However, there are many games, such as, we'll say, ping pong or table tennis. I like to play ping pong or table tennis. I don't play it very often, but I like that game. But if I lose, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I just like to play that game. Or pool, for example. Yeah, I'm not the best pool player. I don't play it very often, but when I play it, I enjoy it. If I lose, do I care? No, I don't care. So in other words, there are games. If I win, great. If I lose, no big deal. On the other hand, there are other games like chess. I don't like to lose that game. I really don't like to lose at that game. So, but what about you? What about you? That's an interesting question. No, would you rather play the game and lose or never play? All right. Number 8. Would you rather eat pizza or tacos? Why? Would you rather eat pizza or tacos? Why? What is your preference there? Pizza or tacos? Wow, that's a tough choice for me because I like pizza. I do like pizza, but I also like tacos. Yeah, tacos. So, mm, tough choice here. These are two good options. These are two good options. Okay. I'm gonna go with pizza. I would rather eat pizza than tacos, but that is a tough choice, and I would say there are definitely occasions where I would probably switch my or change my choice. So um yeah, but that's a tough choice. Because that's a very tough choice for me, but yeah, I'm gonna go with pizza. What about you? Would you rather eat pizza or tacos? Would you rather eat pizza or tacos? Number 9. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to speak with animals? Why? Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to speak with animals? Why? Another great question here. Me? Easy here. I would rather be able to speak every language in the world. That would be a superpower. That would be great to be able to speak every language in the world. Um, yeah, easy, easy for me, easy choice for me on this one because I would be able to communicate with everybody in the world. That would be amazing. So, but what about you? What about you? Oh, and by the way, I love animals. I'm an animal lover. So, I'd like to have that superpower also, be able to communicate with animals. But of those two choices, wow, being able to speak every language in the world, wow, that would be great in my mind. What about you? What do you think? Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to speak with animals? Number 10. Would you rather have a spoon when you need a knife or have a knife when you need a spoon? Would you rather have a spoon when you need a knife or a knife when you need a spoon? Why? Okay. Well, for me, this is easy. This is an easy one for me. I would rather have a spoon when I need a knife than a knife when I need a spoon. Because why? Well, okay, so our first picture, I'm not sure what that is. It looks like maybe a piece of steak or it's some kind of a piece of meat, and I have a spoon there. All right, well, it'd be preferable, if I had a knife, a knife would be good, but I can use that spoon as a knife. I can be creative with that spoon and make it function in a way like a knife. On the other hand, on the right, we have this bowl of soup that looks very good, and I have a knife. Well, that knife isn't going to do me any good. No, no, that knife is not going to help me at all. I could put that knife in there and maybe lick the blade, take a risk of cutting my tongue or something like that. But no, for me, This is an easy answer. I would rather have a spoon when I need a knife than have a knife when I need a spoon. And that's my reason. What about you? What about you? Maybe you have ideas about this that I just have no idea about, that I can't perceive. But what would be your preference in that uh, situation, or in those situations? All right. Let's see here. We have some more questions. Um, Number one, would you rather make a phone call or send a text to your friend? Would you rather make a phone call or send a text to your friend? Why? Okay, me here, easy. I would rather make a phone call than send a text. I don't like to text. I don't text very often, personally, so I would rather make a phone call. If it is somebody I know that I have a pretty good chance of getting hold of immediately. Now, if it's somebody who, doesn't pick up the phone uh, immediately, or hard to get hold of on the phone, then I'm going to send a text. But in general, I would prefer or I would rather make a phone call. What about you? What about you? Are you a phone caller or a texter? Number two, would you rather go to a movie or a restaurant? Why? Oh, good. Would you rather go to a movie or a restaurant? Why? Yeah, I go to restaurants more than I go to movies. Um, I'm gonna say I'd rather go to a movie. I'd rather go to a movie. Just why? Because I don't do it very often, I guess. So I I'll choose that. I'd rather go to a movie than a restaurant. What about you? What about you? What would you rather do on a Friday night? Go to a movie or to a restaurant? Number three, would you rather have more time or more money? Why? Would you rather have more time or more money? Why? Hmm. Yeah. Well, that's kind of tough, isn't it? Because don't we say that time is money? Don't we just pretty much equate those two? Time is money. Time is money. Um, yeah, I'm gonna say more money. Would you rather have more time or more money? I'd rather have more money, because I think that if I have, why? Because I think that if you have money, you can buy time. Whereas if you have time, you can't necessarily get money. But I think if you have sufficient money, you can find ways to buy time if you need it. But that's why. What about you? What would you rather have, time or money? Number four, would you rather live in the mountains or the desert? Would you rather live in the mountains or the desert? Why? Me, this one's easy for me. I would rather live in the mountains. Yeah, I would rather live in the mountains than in the desert. Why? I don't know. uh, the desert, I think, is just, well, one, it's too hot and too dry in the desert during the day anyway. I understand desert can be very cold at night, but I like hot weather. I like heat, but that dry heat, I really don't like super dry heat. So I don't think I would do very well in the desert. The mountains, I think, be an interesting place to live, at least for a while. So the scenery, I think, would be better. But yeah, I think I'd rather live in the mountains. What about you? What about you? What would you rather do? live in the mountains or the desert? Number 5, would you rather be rich or famous? Would you rather be rich or famous? Why? Me, easy. I would rather be rich. I would rather be rich. I have no great desire to be famous. I have no desire to be famous, and so I would rather be rich. What about you? What is more important uh, to you? Uh, Wealth or fame? Wealth or fame, and why? And number 6, would you rather eat spicy food or bland food? Bland food means that there's not a lot of spice. Okay, that's what the word bland means. Would you rather eat spicy food, spicy being hot to the taste, spicy hot, like having like pepper, or bland food? Why? Me, here, this one's easy for me too, because I cannot eat spicy food. I like some spice, but not very much. Too much spice really, I don't like it. I don't enjoy food that is overly spicy. But there are some bland kind of foods that I do like, and so I would rather eat bland food than spicy food. But hey, what about you? Some people out there, they love, love, love spicy food. There are a lot of people out there that love, love, love spicy food. Um, like I said, I personally like some spice, but too much spice, no, it burns me up. But yeah, so I'm for the bland food. But what about you? What about you? All right, everybody, gonna have to wrap this up right now. But yeah, so this has been fun. It's always fun. I want to thank you all again for your attendance. I want to thank you also for your attention. And just again, I want to thank you all for just being members of our CINCILINGUA membership program. And as I always do, as I sign off, I want to encourage all of you to make full use of your membership by using all of the resources that you have available to you on the website as often as you can. Make use of the games there, make use of the audio books, the regular books, and the videos that are in the library and that we are adding to regularly. So visit the website as often as you can, and by all means, continue to attend the live classes, participate in these live classes with me. It's always great to have you with me here. So on that, again, my name is Todd, and I am here in Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm wishing you all a wonderful remainder of your Friday, and I'm wishing you all a great weekend, and I will be looking forward to seeing you all again next time. Bye-bye.